And I think that this newer generation is coming up because, again, when you look at and I hate to say like, look at the polls, look at everything like that, because I hate polls, but sometimes they do give good information. But when you look at the polls, these newer generations coming up and our generation, even though I think we're kind of like the last generation that held on to the pro-Israel stance, but as we start to get older, our generation is starting to more and more withdraw from it, right? But
Yeah.
but you gotta say we were raised into it from from our parents' generation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we were taught it from grade school and all that up.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
Now I think it's pretty split between on Gen X and Gen Z on
But what I'm
pro
saying is,
Palestine or pro Israel. You
but
know
what
what I
I'm
mean?
saying,
It's
Gen X was pretty solidly like pro-Israel, like for the most part, because
yeah, yeah.
they came through, World War II and everything like that. You see what I'm saying? Like that, all of that, they came through that with the full acceptance and without question of what happened through World War II and all that stuff like that. So they came in through with a absolute pro-Israel stance. And then we were born, and that's why I say that as we get older and we were born into the digital, we grew up in the digital age, but we weren't born into it like Gen Z and Gen Alpha, right?
Mhm.
Um, we grew up in it because it started with us. That's why I say our generation, as we get older now, we're starting to deviate, and we're like I would say like we're the last man standing when it comes to like commitment to Israel. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, I can agree with that.
yeah,
You know,
but
very
then
much
as
so.
we see Gen Z and Gen Alpha come up, the numbers are steeply declining. Not necessarily of like hatred, but they're starting to be like, why do we
Awake.
have to support Israel? Why like I don't get why there is a have to at this point.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Gen X and millennials, we kind of came into the point where it's like, well, we have to because it's our greatest ally. This is what we must do, and nobody
Mhm.
really questioned that. And
Mhm.
now people are getting to the point where like, no, 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 no. But why do we have to? Why must we? Just because they're our greatest ally? What does that mean? What does that entail? Why does the fact that they are our greatest ally an excuse to do whatever they ask of us?
Which, and I also think that a lot of them are getting smart to seeing as, okay, they're our greatest ally, but why? Why are they our greatest ally? Because what do they do for us? Our
Exactly.
greatest ally would be someone that it's a give and take relationship. There's a benefit for both sides, whether it's trade, whether it's protection, whether it's this, that, the other. Everything's one sided with this. We give money, we give protection to Israel, but what do we get in return? Absolutely nothing except for they control the deep state.